Hi there, this is Josh from Literary Gladiators, and I am back with some more videos. It's been 2 weeks since I've released anything new, but we've had, my grandmother passed away on Easter Sunday, which was April 17th this year, and I was able to do some things, but I wasn't able to get as many videos up as I had wanted to, since I was tending to services and family engagements pertaining to honoring my grandmother. And I'm hoping to put together videos where I can honor my grandmother and my late great aunt that also passed earlier in April. And I'm going to tie them into things pertaining to books, reading, and literature, or to the channel, if applicable. And I also wanted to make mention to the fact that I'm not going to necessarily abide by a set schedule. The contributors continue to, when I ask that they continue to abide by what we discussed. But for myself, I'm going to film and release an X amount of videos per week. And if I release one video, I have a designated time. Two, I have designated times pertaining to the first and second. And I have a structure that goes onward up until 10. But this is a personal one, and it can be bent in any which way. And the other thing is, with the contributors that I have, and the reason that I don't release a confirmed schedule list is because I want my contributors to be able to ultimately release their video when it works for them and the best possible content is ready to go. I enjoy watching NFL football, and one thing that is good to keep in mind is that when you are taking part in a draft, if you trade down, you have the opportunity to acquire additional draft picks. And while I'm not requiring my contributors to provide me with additional videos, I know that even if we don't have videos at one given time, we're going to have even more videos later on, and those videos will be of the better quality as opposed to rushed together. But you came here to listen to my discussion about In Sum by Rustu Onur. And this I first came across in the March 2022 edition of Poetry Magazine. And this is my first this is the first time I came across Rustu Onur. And he is a Turkish poet that lived from 1920 to 1942. He had a very short life, which was very saddening, especially given the conditions in which he lived. Onur lived in Zonguldak, which is a city in Turkey. And he was in very poor and impoverished conditions. Onur dealt with TB, which, when he was hospitalized, he came across the woman that he eventually married. Her name was Mediha Sezes, and unfortunately, she died very shortly after they got married, and it led to Onur developing a drinking habit, and his intense drinking led to him suffocating on his own blood and killing him. I'm going to leave a link down below to the poetryfoundation.org's biography on Onur because it gives you the complete details. But as far as his poetry is concerned, it was meant to approach life in a brighter light. But this poem here is more honest and straightforward about his outlook on life. And his structure is very reflective of the Farret movement, which is a more casual, freestyle way of writing and speaking through poetry. The way that he structured this was very meaningful in the way that he used the words. It was very structurally pleasing in the way that it really flowed well. So I'm going to read you in some. I'm going to read the English version translated from the Turkish by Hüsnin Alhas and Yulas Uzgun. And this was dedicated to Kahit Sitki Turanchi. And he was also a fellow poet. If I were to die, my dear mother, I would have nothing to leave you. The butcher would take my jacket, the grocer my coat. On account of my debts, what about my loves and my poems? How could you face the neighbors and not be ashamed? In sum, my dear mother, no corn in the cellar, no wife at home. Naked I was born, naked I will die. It was short and right to the point, and I think that that very last line really speaks of the speaker's life experiences, and feeling not just fearful but guilty that he was not able to leave his mother anything. Everything that he had would be taken away by society, and that he never had that opportunity to build his way into society the way that he wanted. And he never had that ability to experience. He almost had that ability with his wife, but that was taken away from him very quickly. But the way that he is writing with the agony, I get the sense that he wrote this while he was dealing with TB, as opposed to during his time of marriage, because he felt that he was going to die from one of those episodes. And there's also mention of the fact that he is so poor that he is only able to pay with basic possessions, and that whatever little he's hanging on to is going to have to make do as far as payments are concerned. And this is clearly being written from a position of poverty. I think that the name of the poem in sum really speaks wonders as far as the fact that this is an obvious misfortune of his, and that he has nothing to leave behind, doesn't have the life experience. And I think that no wife at home really says a lot. And I think that that says the clearest that this was probably written during his issue when he had tuberculosis, because it was to him quite a miracle that he made it past that and made it to the point of marriage. And probably his response to her death was him pretty much saying that there was nothing, that no matter what he tries to do, he has no ability to get out of his circumstance. And when he got married, he moved to Istanbul, which was a step in the better direction. But tuberculosis was also a heavy burden that took away a lot of writers. Franz Kafka Antoine Chekhov, Henry David Thoreau. All of them died at a young age from tuberculosis. Onur was affected by tuberculosis, but I think it weakened him. But his death was complications from alcoholism. But I think that he had such a mental strain in his life that he didn't really feel that no matter what he did, it wasn't going to be any good anyway. But I think that this really gets a sense of being at the brink as far as poverty is concerned. And I'm really pleased that this was translated into the English language. I would like to read more from Onur, and I would like to learn more about his background and what he has offered to literature. I want to thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you check out some more videos from our channel, and for now, keep reading.